Hello, everybody. It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. It is also a little bit earlier than normal. It's 8:25. I'm going to only be streaming in the morning, and I'm going to continue working on localization stuff. So there is not a lot of interest in today's stream, I think. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, so there were skills with notes. I want to get through these. I want to get through ideally every string in the code base, but that's not going to happen today. At least not on its own. So things like this, we got to go change. All right, so string dot format translate. I want to copy this there. And this is going to be ability descriptions. And then we need some arguments over here. These have notes though, so maybe I shouldn't do things this way. Maybe I should go to Ice Blast and look at what I did for this. Yeah, this. All right. Hey, 85 filter. How's it going? Formatted note grants this. Yeah. Okay, this is you will glow red while this is active. That's here. Delete this stuff. We don't need a format. Okay, now we come down to this thing again, and I change this. This will be the formatted note. And the maximum bonus from 0. You gain power. Yeah, there's a lot of grunt work left to be done. And I talked about being conflicted. Should I do this on stream or not? Hey, Sandex, we're not using AI tools here. I'd used some yesterday for this. For this particular set, there are maybe 6 of these that I wanted to do, and I just don't feel like getting the prompt to be good enough, and it's not going to take me that long. But yeah, yesterday when they were more straightforward, I had to do like 30 of them. And maybe I'll look at this some more in a bit as far as the AI extraction of strings goes. Okay, so this is fine. What else do we have here? So farming crop variety. I guess there's slightly more than 6 here. Yeah, these are all the ones with the notes. Okay, let's get this. We can also change these. This is not localization, but while we're here, we might as well fix this. Okay, so note all available crops have an equal chance of being planted. Let's put this here. Then we have the formatted note. And what else do we have? That's it. Okay. So string.format, translate this. Oh, did I delete the... Yes, I did. Okay. And then this entire thing is going to be the note. Yeah. All right, so this is ability descriptions and the formatted note. Cool. Hey, Tamao. You are first. And hey, TJ. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, I hope everyone ends up having a good day today. You know, there was a thread on Reddit that said something like, what's your family going to discuss this Thanksgiving? And, you know, I don't generally like reading negative threads like that because they tend to frustrate me. But yeah, everyone's got some, I don't know, problems or drama or something going on. And it's like, I think in general, there's a lot of positivity around this. And it's harder to discuss that online because it's not as interesting. Like, what are you looking forward to this Thanksgiving? Well, food, company, you know, time off, something like that. Buying this cool thing I wanted to buy, whatever it might be. I'm looking forward to just some peace and quiet a little bit. I don't know, we've been doing a lot and it's nice to take a breather. I will still probably do some work this afternoon. I have a lot to get through and I really, really don't want to be in crunch time in like January or February. Okay, this looks like it's done. Next up is this. Yeah, these shouldn't be too bad to do. All right, so this note is click the lever. Got it. And then format, translate, 0. Hey, Xyletics. Formatted note. Cool. You just hoarded games from Steam and Nintendo eShop and PlayStation. What are you looking forward to the most out of the games that you hoarded? I still haven't played Kirby Air Riders again. I want to try it out. They've just been playing other games. Yeah. Okay. There's another change I've got to make at some point, which is to standardize on the first word here. Some of these would have said teaches and some say teach. And I need to think of what I want for all of them. This isn't the kind of thing I think most people would even notice. And maybe we never get to it. And maybe AI would do it just fine anyway. Like find all the translate calls and ability descriptions that don't start with a, I don't know, a word with an S at the end. Let's see. So yeah, this should be done. Next up is this. Also, Abby woke me particularly early this morning. So I think I sound more out of it than I feel. All right, format, translate, and put the note here. I'm surprised the AI doesn't fill in this part of it at least, because I wouldn't mind it doing this. It makes me wonder, maybe I need to restart VS Code. Let's see. No, F12's working, so everything else should be too. Okay, done with that. We got 4 more of these, and then 400 million other things we have to do. All right, so note this does not affect the garbage slime. And that's it. Cool. Zero. Huh. I wonder if something's wrong here, actually. Maybe I should restart this. Because, yeah, it seems like it should be filling this in for me. Well, let's reload it. Hey, Celsola. I don't miss an Adam stream. Send help. I think it's nice when people incorporate this into their work schedule, because there have been a lot of college students over the years who have been here, and they incorporate it into their college schedule, and then they start work and they disappear from the stream. And that's fine. I know everyone's got a life to live, but at least if you're incorporating it into your work schedule, it's like, now we can both get used to this for the rest of our lives. Hey, Doro. No, thank you. Oh, thank you. I see. I feel like italics are needed on Twitch to make that clear. Yeah, no, truly, the title wasn't just meant to be a reference to Thanksgiving. It has been nice doing this. I appreciate the opportunity. I like that there have been some nice people here. Easy solution, drop out of college. Yeah. That is an easy solution. Really, I got frustrated about AI cannot be used in coding. What are you talking about? Is there a particular thing you can't use it for? And why do you think that we have the atom bottle command? Haven't you seen this clip? Right there? It's a very important clip to watch. All right, recycler critical eats. Let's go take a look at this one. Same thing, just putting in formatted notes. I did restart VS Code, so hopefully this does it slightly better. Yeah, it's suggesting things again. I don't know what that was about, that it didn't do that before. Whatever. Lisa's doing it now. Okay, so now if I just type string dot, it should complete it. It didn't. All right, well, it got part of it at least. Yeah, there we go. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Now what? There. Okay. It says rare items. Maybe it should say elite items. I don't think it matters. And golly, that's an old clip. Yep. By the way, please do watch your segmenting tour. It is one of the few rules in this chat. All right, so this will give us the formatted note. Then we do the string dot. It's barely a sip. You dare not watch as I consume all 3 gallons of water. Oh, nice. Yeah, cool. All right, and then the final one is this. And it looks like it's doing this for me, thankfully. Allows you to select which adventurer's loot will start inside a treasure chest. Yeah, good. All right, so that was skills with a note. Let's just press F5. I'm not going to go validate this in the game. At some point, we'll play through. I'll read through the descriptions and everything. I just want to get the heavy lifting done. Yeah, there. Okay, so localize abilities with notes. These required some extra formatting that I didn't want to try having AI do for me on the previous run of many ability descriptions. Whenever that was. Yeah, so all of these should look pretty much the same. Yeah, we extracted out a note. We did this. Yeah, there should be no dollar signs here. So far, so good. Yep. Yeah, cool. Everything's fine. All right, so next up, extract on-off state strings to their own files. Yeah, so we use this in a bunch of different spots, and it just literally is the words on and off. And we just got to think of where should this go. Maybe like a buttons or dialogue. Do we have button strings? Dialogue strings? Dialogue strings. Yeah, let's put it in here. I think it's reasonable. Okay. Hey, Luna. I think your question answered itself right there. It's not too bad. Honestly, the way I kind of look at this stuff is we have to do it. We have to. So it doesn't really matter how we got here or how long it'll take. It just matters that I keep my sanity as I get this done. Now, that is at least for this project. It does matter how we got here for future projects. So yeah, for future projects, I think we should localize as we go. I think it just would make things so much easier. But I mentioned this in the past, like I'm spending whatever it is, 40 hours doing this now. I don't think it would have taken 40 hours if I were doing it as I went, but it might still take like 20 hours or something. I don't know. It's hard for me to estimate what it would have taken if I had done it as I went along. However, that extra 20 hours, that's like a whole stream week. I only stream for like 24 stream hours per week. So if you think about it, it's like we'd be a week behind schedule feature-wise, but we wouldn't have to do this localization work now. And anyway, there's a lot of nuance to this, but yeah, so I do think localizing as you go is probably the best idea. And I got to think about this for the future. All right, so this is going to literally be the word on, and this is on off state. Oh, it should be lowercase. And then the next one should be off. And then we just use these where we found them, on off state. This is going to be dialogue strings on and off. And then I think we have the same thing over here somewhere. You should have a space between them. We have the same thing over here, on and off. And that's it. Nice. Localization is tedious. Yeah, the high level parts of localizing something, at least when it just comes to language, is extracting strings and then translating them. And the translation, rarely will you find one person who can do all of the translations they need to do. So like this is already probably going to be a group effort. But the extracting strings, yeah, you could do as you go, or you could do it all at once like I'm doing it now. Find trustworthy localizers now and carry them over to the next game. Yeah. I think so too. I also think that, so much of whatever happens with Skelecellar's success, so much of what follows that is based on how big of a success it is. And I'm using success to mean pretty much anything over $0, which is practically guaranteed. But anyway, so there's a big difference between making $100, $100,000, and $10 million or something like that. If Skelecellar made a ludicrous amount of money, then I'd probably just pay dedicated translators. It's not the kind of thing I want to allocate money to right now, because I've tried to keep the budget of this game incredibly small. And so far we've stuck with it, and we're so close to launch that I think blowing out the budget at this point is just not worth it. So Yeah, anyway, still keeping their contacts so that I can pay them later is a good idea. All right, so this is the on-off state. This is now done. I don't even think we need to test this, but I will. At least for the extractor where there's a lever and it's easy to find this. Quite a few passionate people willing to support indie devs on a tight budget. Yeah, yeah. And it's nice. I don't want to... Hang on one second. Let me just take a look at this. Wait, it's not the extractor where this even happens. It's auto battling. All right, so we got to do this over here. So we just send anyone into battle. Speed this up. Yeah, nice. There we go. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so I don't want to be exploitative with anything I'm doing here. And I think I've been very upfront about kind of everyone's deal with this. And even in the translation document, I'm trying to be upfront about this. I hope this is written here. Yeah. You'd be contributing your translations free of charge, assigning the right to use the translations. Yeah, I just don't want to promise anything. Because Botland made so little money that if I'd made promises about divvying it up, everyone would have been insulted, I think. It made like $700. Yeah, imagine someone being like, okay, I'll take my cut of the 700, and I'm like, okay, here's $12.62. So yeah, I don't want to assume that this is going to do fantastically. I hope that it will. Okay, so extract on and off strings out. You know what? We could probably write some things here, like I18N. This is typically part of a current state on/off message. Hence the lowercase. Yeah, there we go. Guess you could offer X amount of compensation if you reach Y sales target. Yeah. And the thing that I wanted to be careful about here is there's also a little bit of an accounting difficulty with this. Like I don't have a person doing this or software doing this. So let's say I have whatever 15 people and I've said each person gets their own like revenue share X on some schedule. Yeah. Anyway, it's not that it's super hard to do. It's like I just haven't set this up yet. So I think it's easier to say, let me get people's contact information. Then if the game does well, I could essentially just do sort of like a bonus structure where I'm like, oh, here's whatever, $100 to 5 different people. And then that's it. It's a one-time payment. It's done. Something like that. But I haven't looked at any of this stuff yet. And I want to figure that out before launch. But there's a lot of stuff I want to do before launch. All right, battle map marker, update tooltip. Huh, that didn't even go to battle map marker, update tooltip. What am I doing? There we go. Okay, so I mentioned this needs to be overhauled. I want to see how exactly. We keep track of the rewards. If you should show them, if you haven't unlocked this at all, it tells you how to unlock this thing. So in each case, we have this plus equals here, but we don't really need that because none of these ever combine. They're all in exclusive else conditions. Now, I recognize that we're building on this, so we could just say like string extra text and then set this here everywhere. So instead of text plus equal, set extra text equal. And then down here, do text plus equal extra text. Or even just like that. Yeah. And this does make it slightly easier because now they're all standalone. So yeah, we got to go do that. So this is format title. We also want to translate that. This is TR rewards. And what is this? I guess tooltips. Is it a tooltip? Yeah, it's a tooltip. All right. Now, everything else here is inside of a color tag. I think I want to do this differently. Yeah. Hey, Goose. Happy Thanksgiving. So this isn't really extra text anymore, is it? Maybe we do like note text here. And we set this stuff equal to that. And then we say if, yeah, something like this. And then slash color. Use of unassigned local variable, string.empty, I guess. I think that first string.empty isn't needed. No, it says unassigned local variable. Okay, it is needed. All right, and now we get rid of the color tags on this stuff. So this makes this a little bit easier to read as well. And then they're all italicized as well, which means we could probably delete that too. Perfect, okay. So italics, and then we can delete all the italics from here. Easy peasy. And the closing tags. Okay, now we are looking at much simpler to translate strings because we just type tr. Oh, and then probably a description for this. Tooltips, I guess. And then this one is special, and then we need to format this one. String.format tr. So monster name is first. And this is second. Good. And then we just need tooltips on here too. Looking nice. That's not a thing here in Germany? Probably a quieter day online then? Yeah, I think so. I don't think most people are like, hey, it's Thanksgiving, let me go watch Adam code. But yeah, I think enough people in Europe will probably still be here. And either way, I'm doing this because I just want to be productive. If there were 5 viewers, it wouldn't be too different from if there were 50. Because I don't look at the view count anyway. This, in case anyone's curious, is the only view I have on my other monitor for Twitch. So it's exactly the same chat you can see, except for that highlights it red when someone says my name. And that's it. Hey, head of the masses, welcome in. All right, I think we're good here. Yeah, this wasn't too bad. We can go test this out. And I think this is one of the better ways that I've done this. So there are several different cases we can be in. One is that you've unlocked a location and the boss is showing. You've unlocked a location and the boss isn't showing. You haven't unlocked the location at all, but you can or you can't unlock it. So let's go try those. I'm making a game called Skeleseller. There's a Steam page there. Highlights with your name mentioned. Yeah, I forgot. I think that's built into Twitch. So technically anyone can do that. But it's a pretty nice feature because sometimes people in chat are talking to each other. And if I don't see a name highlight, then I just sometimes ignore the message. You must beat the latest location before being able to upgrade the portal. Okay, now we go beat the latest location. And it now says unlocks this location so that you can battle here. Now we click that. It says defeat the ogre to be able to do repeatable battles. So we go beat the ogre. And then it says beat once to reveal rewards. Okay, cool. That's everything. Clean up localization. Or I guess like localize. What is it? Update tooltip. Battle map marker update tooltip. Cool. Okay, we're getting through this. Feels good to not have a list of 500 things, although we kind of still do, and it's just over here. I want to try out pseudo localization when we're done with this stuff. Try out pseudo localization to see how easy it is to find missing, like incorrectly localized strings. All right, let's go take a look at luminescence. Why did I say this is more difficult? Just because there's a parameter here? That doesn't sound that bad. Oh no, because there's pluralization. Okay, fine. Yeah, sure. Return string dot format tr. No, translate plural. So we need the message. You gain this of that every second. Yeah. All right, so this would be raise 1 1. Then we need, why is it an integer? Float. Oh my god. Okay, fine, whatever. And then yeah, ability descriptions, that's pretty good. And then we need the actual formatted things here. So it is format number that, format skill name that. Yeah, cool. All right, honestly, this isn't too bad. I think the AI model that I'm using, the Raptor one, is pretty good. Now, why is this either plural or singular? How can this change? Oh, man. Are you kidding me? I don't think it can change. I don't think there was any point in doing this. Maybe at some point in the past, I had multiple levels of this. Let me take a look at this again. Number of rays per second. Yeah, it's just a constant set to 1. Huh. Hey, recent future. Godot is not good. I only added 10 character body 2D enemies, and they're taking 8 milliseconds in the profiler. I mean, that's fine. You don't have to use Godot. I don't think anyone's making you do that, right? You can make your own engine or use a different one. I think this is why tooling is so important. Like, and also profiling for your own needs. If you try an engine and the engine is meant for, I don't know, let's say like Game Boy development, and you, I don't know, try doing some like 3D modeling on it, it's like, that's probably not going to go well. Granted, targeting the Game Boy for 3D modeling is probably never going to go well, no matter what you use. The processor's just not that powerful. But yeah, like if something doesn't fit your needs, that's totally reasonable to eschew it in favor of something else. All right, so this should just say, this shouldn't even be parameterized, I guess. Okay, I understand now why I did this. Because we could change this to 2 in the future, and we don't want to have to go change all of this stuff as well. But I think for the sake of this, we just won't parameterize this. Or, I don't know what I want to do with this. I'm very torn. Because if this is always going to be 1, we don't need both of these strings. Quite the conundrum. Normally this wouldn't matter, but this is going to be seen by translators. And I don't want them to have to see it if they're not going to ever need to write a different thing. I guess let's just keep it for now. Yeah, let's just keep it for now. Okay. Power leveling. Let's go look at that one. Where is the description for this? So this is a problem. We got to fix that. Is there anywhere else that's a problem? I think that's it. Why didn't I just do this? I guess just because it wasn't exactly the format I wanted. All right, that's fine. All right, so what are we looking at here? String dot format, translate, power leveled the. Yeah, this looks good. I'm gonna take this and then Command Z it, and then get the parameters from here. Oh, nice! It already is doing that for me. Lowest level plus non-battle perks. Yeah, there we go. I want to make a game like Risk of Rain 1, but Godot doesn't seem to be able to handle it. Yeah, check out Unity or Unreal or anything else. Hey, Cyprian. Plus, I mean, if all you're doing is adding enemies to a scene and you're like, this isn't good enough, it should take you probably like less than 30 minutes to try in another engine and do some profiling. Do translators get the code itself and replace it? I'd figured they'd get dialogue. They do, but what I'm saying is right now we have a, like, imagine you hired 1 adventurer versus you hired 2 or more adventurers. These are 2 different strings that are only needed because we don't know whether we have 1 or 2 or 3. But in this case, we do know we always have 1. So like we're giving this string to translators. It is very similar to the prior one, but there's no real reason for this because we know we're never in this scenario. You gonna miss Santa at the Macy's parade? Oh, is there news about this? I don't actually know anything about this. Wait, no, there isn't news about this. Is this just I'm not gonna see the parade? Hey, Vongo. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm being dense on the message here. All right, power level the display name from 1 to 2. Sounds good. Cool. All right, looks good. Oh, well, this is going faster. And then these are a little bit different. Okay, so let's go check in what I've done so far, which is really only 2 of these abilities. That's fine, though. And I'll try building it as well. And it was just luminescence and power leveling. Power leveling, unfortunately... No, we probably... no, maybe we can't find it in the game easily. Luminescence we can. That one's really simple. But I think the only place we can see this is a different description here. Yeah, that's not the formatted one. That's okay. I'll look at the luminescence one. All right, so unlock. Whoops, it's not the button I meant to press. You gain 1 ray of holy light every second. Yeah, sounds good. Cool. Localize some more abilities. And it has descriptions on both of them, right? No, that one's a notification. Okay, that's still fine. So time span from seconds. This one I did not want to do. I just don't feel like it. But we really should. So this probably shouldn't be here. But there are 2 places where this happens. And one is here. And I don't think we can ever be in this case. But we could use BB code for this anyway. Format minutes, seconds, I guess. Yeah, these functions are already a little bit annoying here. Maybe we should just pass in a time span. Don't we also do time span total seconds though? Ooh, yeah, because that's how we get the number of seconds. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to think. The formatting of this in terms of BB code doesn't really matter. We'd probably put this in bold. The important part is this. And the way that we've done this before is like so. And we have a duration in seconds thing here. To be like duration in minutes in seconds. You know, something I wanted to try, which I really should do now, is can we put any formatting codes into this? I don't think we'd be able to. Think of how this works, because this is Godot doing this. No, wait a second. This would be fine. Yeah, hold on. I gotta try something out. All right, let's just go to main and just print something out from over here. dd.print translate. Oh, we don't have translate here. Let's add it in for now. Oh, no, we don't need to. We could just do it this way. Godot.translation server.translate. All right. We're just going to try. The number is :0p0. All right, so that's our translate. And then that on its own does nothing. We need to format it. And I want to format it with a number like 0.45f. So what I think is going to happen here, and what I probably should have realized before, is that this is just going to print the number is 45%. And that I can have formatting parameters in my translated strings, and it hopefully won't be a problem. And that sometimes this is probably a good thing. Yeah. Okay, I should write this down. Where did I write about localization anyway? I don't know where I wrote that. Godot engine? I don't know where I wrote this. Here it is, internationalization in Godot. All right, let's put an alias here. Alias is localization in Godot. because that's what I search for. So that's probably what I'll search for in the future. Strings with parameters, strings with BB code. Parameterizing. Maybe I should just put this here. I think I'd probably expect to find it here. All right, so 3 of these. Strings with C# specific formatting. There's nothing wrong with doing this if you want the translators to be able to customize the formatting of a parameter. String.format. Yeah. This will print the number is 45% due to the P0. For percentages, this probably isn't important. But for something like a time span, it could be. And that's where we get what I'm about to code, which is this. So in English, this looks pretty good. But maybe in other languages, it wouldn't. So how would this look? We do like string.format. How would this look? Translate. Yeah, I guess just 0:%m. M. 0:%s. And then like so. And like so. Yeah. Gives tanks. I will take your tanks and I will give you 100 goats. Happy Thanksgiving, Kevin. All right, if I'm not mistaken, I think this should be good. Let's go test it out. So we're going to print this. And then we just need a time span. Time span from seconds, 125. So this will say 2M 5S. If I'm not mistaken. Wait, undo this. Undo. I want to get it like this. System.timespan. And then translation server. That way, well, I guess I'm just going to revert this whole file anyway, but still. What if you add those in Skeleteller? There's, what is it called? Like tactical breach wizards or something like that. Whoops. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah. I like this idea. Oh, mature content. Okay, I won't show this on stream. But let me see if I can show just a picture of it, maybe. Oh, this is different from what I thought it was. Well, anyway, the whole point, at least I thought it was, that you've got like wizards in a more modern military environment. And I love this idea of mixing settings like that. But not in Skeleteller. I don't want to do that. I think it'd be a little weird. Also, you eventually get to the point where it feels cartoonish. I've seen games do crossovers before where they do enough crossovers where you're like, I don't know what the base game is and what's just not even in that anymore. And Fortnite's one of those things where Fortnite at this point is more of a platform than a game, it feels like. But they've got characters from all over the place. So it looks like a total mishmash of just everything. I think you got to be careful with how you do that. All right, so did this work correctly? Yes, but there's an extra parenthesis. That's fine. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll print this over here. So prints the number is 45%. Prints. Oh, I didn't put the time span in. Whoops. Prints 2M5S. Okay, now let's get rid of the cruft here. So system dot looks good. Get rid of the print. I guess this technically doesn't print anything. Get rid of that. All right, this looks pretty clean, right? Yeah. But more importantly, the way this shows up in the .po file. So if I go look at scripts ES, now we can search for M bracket. Yeah. This is useful if you, oh, I already wrote that. In fact, I shouldn't say there's nothing wrong. If you want the translators to be able to customize the formatting of a parameter, just put it into the translated string. The time span, the time string will show in the .po file like this. Do we have PO here? I don't know if that works. I guess anything that's got some kind of syntax highlighting. No, I don't know how we, oh wait, yeah, if we make it C, it looks like. This is me exploiting a syntax highlighter here. I wonder if in preview mode it still looks fine. It's good enough, whatever. I don't care. It's not really C. Meaning translators can use... Hey, Seshamara, were you streaming today? I think I saw you were online. How'd the stream go? C# time span format string. There should be a page on this. Yes. And this has %s and everything. Yeah. All right, so let's just copy paste this. Custom time span format strings. Paste that in there. Why did that not work? Oh, I put a new line. Yeah, so this is kind of interesting because what we might be able to do now is just use one format string for everything. This would have to allow conditionals. Other characters, what's that about? I see. I don't think you can do this. Never mind. Yeah, so we need to change this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever. We can use different ones for different locations in the code. Hit a technical hurdle of parsing a custom regex flavor and interpret it. I'll figure it out next month offline. Next month sounds like such a far away time, but I guess it's not that far away. But nice, yeah. That you'll figure it out. I mean, not that you hit the hurdle necessarily. What are you parsing regexes for? Okay, so what am I doing here? I've got to figure out. Let me think about this. We format minutes here, and that's just a 0M. And that's going to be in the translated code. But this is not using a time span because we might have saved something off as a float. Or in this case, just literally a constant. It could be a time span that uses from seconds. I guess there's no real difference. There's no need to use a time span if you know this is minutes. So we're going to make a new function here called format minutes seconds. A function like format seconds, but for always showing minutes and seconds. In English, this looks like 1M 4S or 0M. Wait, why do it show 0M? We don't. We do conditionally format this. And probably an end battle screen too, right? Or whoops, this is end battle screen. I meant in spellbook. Yeah, we do. So this is kind of pointless. Oh man. All right, then we'll rename this to maybe like format minutes seconds. A function that like this, but that shows minutes when the input time is more than when the input time demands it. E.g., this will render 125 as 2M5S, but it will render 47 as 47S. No minutes showing. Yeah. The programming puzzle game. Automate generated the Lexicon parser. I think you mentioned that the other day. Running a grammar file for it is so complex. Yeah, you mentioned the thing about you couldn't get it to like 2 statements or something. Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. And I think these are like interesting niche games for people. There's that game called The Farmer. Yeah, The Farmer was replaced. And I think this is maybe slightly less niche. This uses, I think, maybe literally Python. It looks like Python. And you do this to automate a farm. And this did pretty well. And I wonder how is Screeps doing right now? I mean, looks like it's doing decently well. Screeps, I think you code in JavaScript. They might have changed that by now so that you can code in other languages. What are they showing here? This looks like JavaScript. Do they have anything else? I don't see anything else. They probably say it in the about section. Yeah, JavaScript code. I have a prototype from 3 years ago similar to that game. My face dropped when seeing how well they did. Screeps? To be fair, Screeps released a long time ago. So, oh, The Farmer was replaced? Oh, yeah. That was released pretty recently. Yeah. I think, I don't know, the way I kind of look at this is a game idea is one thing, and then actually executing on it is another. But then executing on it well is very difficult. So like someone probably could have taken the Botland idea and done a much better job. In fact, there was a game, I never played this, and I really should have. There's a game called Gladiabots that was kind of made concurrently with Botland. It didn't have as... I mean, it had way more players, and it was just a game for sale, so they probably made a decent amount of money. Have they done anything since then? Yeah, they've done a lot of stuff. Upcoming releases? Yeah, wow. They've still been making games. Huh, funny that at the same time that I'm making a game, they're also making an incremental game. And when I was making a programming-based game, they were making one too. Anyway, good for them. It's nice that they managed to stay making games that whole time. I never met or talked to whoever is working on this stuff. I don't know if they ever knew about Botland at some point. Probably somebody mentioned it because this is what always happens in these communities. Something similar-ish in one of my LD prototypes. Yeah. Yeah, and I think where it might be a little bit disappointing is if you'd made something like Infiniminer and then Notch makes Minecraft. It's like, okay, those are so similar, and yeah, you missed the mark by just a little bit. And the mark was multi-billion dollars. Have you ever seen them in the same room together? Imagine if I'm just ghostwriting a game. My son advised me to start programming a game together. I think that could be a fun activity. Every once in a while, I'll see someone post something like, I made this game for one of my kids, and the game is just this charming masterpiece of a game. Built on love. Built with love, I should say. Love is actually the name of a game engine, too. Okay, so this does not need a T here. It needs a time span. Time span. And there are no extra format parameters. How do we do this? We don't need that. Yeah, I don't think we need that. So this actually is not like format seconds at all. Renders minutes. Renders minutes when the input time demands it. Yeah. I always thought it'd be a cool idea to prototype a game once a year, always for the current state of development for your kid. Grow as a game dev with them as a person. That is pretty cool. I imagine it's probably very hard in practice because I think parents, especially new parents, are stretched pretty thin. Hey, Mohit Kumar, welcome back. How goes it? All right, so all we're going to do is take the logic that we have over here and just copy it. Okay, so we do time span. Well, I guess we already have the time span. What I could have done is have this taken a number, any number, and we could do the time span dot from over here. But maybe that wouldn't work. Can we try that? Time span dot from number. Is this going to say you can't take in a... Oh, from seconds. Sure, whatever. But this is probably not going to work. Cannot convert from T to double. You probably can cast this here. No, does that not work? Cannot convert from T to double. Yeah, okay. So it had to be a double. In which case, I don't really think there's a problem here with me. All right, yeah. What am I doing? Yeah, so let's just take in the double num seconds. And then do from seconds on that. And then this is where we want to do this. So this is the particular string we're going to use. And here the string we're going to use is 0.0. Oh man, I didn't think about that. What do we need for this? This is 0.0. What's the other one? It's just format seconds. So do you want to pass this in? Oh man, this is always so hard to wrap my head around. /.fff. Okay. You build that corn keyboard by yourself? Well, by myself, like I didn't design the base circuit board or PCB. I did change it slightly, and then I got the parts, and then yeah, I built it. Would I recommend switching to Colmac? No, I would not. The reasons I recommend switching are if you have pain or strain, and I'm not even certain that switching is the best thing. If you never learned how to type properly, and if you type slowly. Those are the only reasons I'd suggest switching. If you're typing at more than 100 words per minute and it's not causing you physical pain to do so, then yeah, I don't think you really have anything to gain. Like, I'm not even certain it was worth it for me to switch to Colmac. And I'm still on Colmac, which is why I said it that way. Like, I was already typing quickly. I think I'm still typing reasonably fast, but I think I'd still be better at QWERTY at this point. It's been like 3 years. Hey, Franken. So yeah, if you're already typing more than 100 words per minute, I don't think you're going to gain anything. All right, so here we potentially want to pass in the precision of the seconds that you have. How would we do this? Extra seconds precision equals string.empty. Does that even work? Why is that red? Default parameter must be a compile time constant. Oh, okay. Huh, it's probably going to complain now that I'm not using string.empty. No, it's not. How many words per minute? I don't actually know anymore, but I talk about it a little bit in this video. And I have a spreadsheet there somewhere, but it wasn't really, I don't know. There's like a lot of nuances and caveats to that. So it's something you could technically measure if you just watch me type on stream, I guess. Finally made my Choco-Fi working wireless. I'm on Muryoku. Nice, yeah. Yeah, Muryoku was the foundational inspiration for my keyboard. Then I changed some things. But I like the concepts of it. I think it's pretty nice. All right, so here's the thing that makes this a little bit more difficult. So we do this time span, and then how do we do this? We want the extra seconds precision in there. I don't think you can put another formatting string inside this, can you? No, you can't. Okay, so then we would just have this be seconds. Oh, this is a mess. Can you make a full video on your keyboard, like about each and every layer and key? I'm probably not going to do that. I do keep my keyboard layout public for people to look at. So you could look through it, but it's not super self-explanatory. So you can just feel free to ask me questions here. But all my layers are defined right here. So base, symbols, number, functions, navigation. The other ones I don't use too much except for media. And like what they do, you can just scroll down to the bottom here and see like, oh, function. We have a bunch of function keys, F1, F2, F3, well, they go up that way, F4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12. So it's like you can just see the layers, and if you're like, oh yeah, that sounds good, let's do that, then yeah, you can take that sort of thing. And for media, it's things like volume down, volume up, pause play, print screen. Programming isn't bottlenecked by how fast I type, not even close. Yeah, I don't think programming is usually based on how fast you type. However, I think there are kind of two caveats to this. Caveat number one is that most programmers aren't just programming. Like you write emails, you form search queries, you write notes or documents or something like that. And that's where typing speed might help. And the second is the faster you can context switch, the lower your chance, or the faster you can, I guess, type, the lower the chance of context switching and forgetting what you're doing. And with typing, I don't think this is super important, but let's say, for example, that you were new to a language and you were trying to write a program to, I don't know, like average test scores. So the general thing you do is you'd like get the test scores, say like scores equals some array of something, and then you might do some like sort scores, or yeah, not just for averaging, you wouldn't do this. You'd come up with the average, but I guess like display test scores. So you'd sort them, you do the average of them, you do whatever else. In trying to figure out how you sort in your language or average things in your language, you're probably going to go enter a web browser if you've never used this before. So like Python, sort an array. Then you press enter and you're like, whoa, what happened here? Like, what's this thing? This is AI. Like I click this I, and now I'm like lost, right? I don't remember what my original task was. I finally eventually come back to this. I'm like, what was I doing? Again, this is a contrived example, but that can happen. And if you're taking a long time typing something out, or you accidentally like, I don't know, switch windows while you're typing because you made a typo and you hit like Windows key 1 or something, then yeah, I think that can also get in the way. But this is a minor caveat. I think this is a bigger caveat. Like, yeah, coding isn't going to be slowed down, but writing an email almost certainly will be. You can usually think faster than you can write the email. And kind of the same thing for taking notes a lot of the time. And notes are where the context switching matters a little bit more, because it actually does come into play. I don't want to do this because I think this is going to be a mess for translators. I'd love to just have one string, but how will we, I guess we could just have a Boolean for this. So pretty much the problem I have here is I want to display some number of seconds. So you pass in like 45 and it renders as 45s. But sometimes I want it to render as 45. Well, sorry, let's say you pass in 45.2. And sometimes I want it to render with the decimal place there. And I'm just trying to think what's the best way to do this for the sake of translators. Because from code perspective, I could just have an if statement. I could have a Boolean up here. I could pass in a precision thing. But it's going to result in an extra translated string. So I guess our options are, we call translate on something like this, or we call translate on something like F, like that, I think. So we have two different strings. Yeah, so this is option one. Use two different strings that translators have to translate. And option two would be use one string and have code provide different precisions. So it would look like this. And then when we go to format it, we do like use higher precision question mark. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think it's number two. Because I think that having translators know about this would be kind of silly. So this would just turn into change all this. All right, let me think about this. Oh, man. I don't know why it's so hard to wrap my head around this stuff all the time. All right, how about we start with this? So just if this is the case, then return string.format translate 0% Yeah, there. That's perfect. Okay, so that one's done. Now we know we only have seconds. So we need to get the seconds string, which is going to be based on the extra precision we have. So we do timespan.toString %s plus that. Do we need the current culture passed in? No, we don't. Okay, and then we return string.format that. And yeah, text formatting would be good to have on this too. Okay, I think that's what we want. However, there's just one tiny little change here. We need the, I guess, the text or like time string equals, it doesn't matter. This would be the time string, and this time string equals, and then what we return is going to be format number on that. Yeah. I'm also not sure translating that in isolation is the right call to begin with if you're then embedding that piece in a longer sentence or string. Yeah, this is for time remaining. So yeah, we could have the whole string as time remaining. I'm also not totally sure what's going to be best for this. And there'd have to be some conditional formatting for, I don't know, yeah. Hey, Flair. I'm glad you're so gracious. And hey, Lefches. I'm up thanking my givings. What are your plans for today, Lefches? All right, well, I guess this function is going to work. So we probably need to write a parameter here for this. Oh, there we go. See this. Wait a second, this is different? Oh, no. No, I just clicked the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah. Hey, geek. I'm here to bother you with dumb jokes. I hope you don't mind. I guess depends on the jokes. Is that why the title is thank you? I didn't even know. Because of Thanksgiving? Yeah, also, yeah. I wanted it to be a moment of gratitude. All right, so now how do we do this? Href equals this. I think that'll work. So now we hover over this and it should... It doesn't tell us anything. Oh, because I need /param here. Wait, do I even need that? I'm not even certain what I'm doing anymore. Yes, you do need /param. And now does it work? It doesn't show this for some reason. Huh. Yeah, huh. Hey, Spaha. Dumb, not distasteful. Okay, let's hear one. What kind of keyboard is that? This is a corn keyboard. Also, it's saying that an ad break will start in 40 seconds, so I should probably take my actual break right now. Yeah, this is where I'm leaving off. Hey, Cruddlefish. Okay, yeah, I'll take my break now, and then we'll finish this up shortly thereafter. All right, is it jump time? It's jump time. It's jump time. Okay, hello again, everybody. All right, now let's give Geek the satisfaction that they want and read that. Whoops, hang on, close the game. Okay, good, that closed. Yeah. So favorite song is I Like to Move and Move It. All right, well, you advertised it correctly. All right, so we left off with this time span stuff. Let's still look through this. Is there anything else I need to do here? I think this is fine. We probably need some comments here for this. But this is just for rendering a number of seconds. Oh, but isn't this in some other file already? Don't we have like time strings or format strings or something? Yeah, this is for any duration. It will definitely be in seconds. Okay. So these should all go over there. Oh, man. Okay, fine. So this is going to be... Let's close every other tab that I have, because this is already a mess. All right, so time... No. Formatting strings. Yeah, here. Okay, so public static string duration in minutes and seconds. I18N. This is for... Yep, cool. Do I have any Thanksgiving meal plans? No, not really. Also, I did not see your plans until just now. Sorry. I've shunned all family gatherings, bought a big old Wagyu steak, and shall make God's tastiest French onion mac to go with it. That sounds like quite the plan. What media shall be accompanying this plan? Hey, JD. Ever played around with Boyds? No, I like Boyds, though. I have always found them mesmerizing, especially if they're very colorful. Just like regular birds. Okay, so now we change this here, and we do text formatting strings. Dot that. And then this is just 0s. Yeah, perfect. It just goes to duration in seconds. Would you look at that? Yeah. Listening to Red Rising books, so probably that. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm almost done with Game of Thrones. In fact, let me see how far I am until I finish. I am at 95% of the way through. So I've got maybe another hour or hour and a half or something. But that's only book one. The goal is to see if I make it past where I was when I was reading the physical books years ago, which was like book 3, maybe about halfway through. I just lost steam. But I'm already kind of losing steam and I'm not even done with the first book. So I don't know how far I'm going to make it. All right, so now is the final piece of this, which is can we use this and then does it work? So end battle screen. I guess we just search for time span from seconds. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to change this to duration string equals bb code functions dot format time format minutes seconds, and then pass in the duration. And then that's it. Now we can delete this and this. Right? Yeah. Whew. Okay, good. Now what about the other one of those? It's in spellbook. So this is going to be return bb code functions dot format minutes seconds timer dot time left. And that's it. We can now delete all of this code. All right, now let's go test it. Actually, I guess if we're going to do this, we could have just changed it to this, huh? Wow. There's like a 7-line function. Granted, it's still a 7-line function. It's just in a different spot now. The trick is to skip the characters you don't like. You should give up on that and get addicted to the books I got Kevin to read. After this, my mom actually just suggested Tina Fey's book, Bossy Pants. So I'll probably read that. And then my wife and I separately listened to Plum Island. And now she wanted to read the second book in the series. So I think I've got enough on my reading list now. So it's fantasy, murder mystery, comedy. I refuse to read nonfiction. If my brain can't be elsewhere, then I won't be reading it. All right, did I start this? Yes, and now we need to go to the end battle screen and the enchanter. Okie dokie. Let's go build the enchanter. Actually, let's just click that. Perfect. Looks good. And now end battle screen. So we got to go to a later battle and lose it. Which I guess the Yeti is the best for that. Because the Yeti insta-kills you. So after 4.5 seconds, you're guaranteed to lose. Goodbye, Paladin. And look at that. It's perfect. So when can you get minutes in here? I don't think you can for either one of these things. Wow. Yeah, I don't know when we ever show minutes in the game other than for keys in story mode. And we have a format minutes function for that. And yeah, we only call it in 4 places and it should always be for keys. No, it's also for customers. Okay. But then these are keys, right? Yes. Well, interesting. I think it's done. Yeah. This is not easy. Not easy to think about. So let's discard this. All right, looking good. Localize the minutes formatting function. I think this is the first time I realized that you can pass formatting specifiers through the translation into C#. We use this for this. Okay, what's next? Get tooltip description. And where's that? Item data? You know, before I do this, I want to go test out the pseudo localization stuff. Let's go try that. Because I want to see how we'd easily find the strings that we haven't translated yet. After enabling the advanced toggle in the project settings. Okay, so all we have to do is this. Pseudo localization. All right, replace with accents. I think we just want to expand stuff here. So don't do that. But do this. Does skip placeholders even work for C#? I don't think it does. Was it override? Replace all characters with stars. I think if we just put a whole bunch of these, it'll be very easy to find them. And I would just run this. So any string that hasn't been localized will now show with a whole bunch of brackets around it, I think. No. Maybe it's every string that has been localized will show with a bunch of brackets around it. So I think I said that backwards. Maybe, I don't know. I need to know of a string that I haven't localized yet. Do we have any example of those? I guess. Metals? Metals. Yeah. I think this is an example of this. So gold metal shows up here, but it doesn't show up with the brackets around it. And like this doesn't either. But then there are brackets right there. What are those doing there? What is that? Huh. Interesting. I don't know what that is. New challenge run screen. I guess it might be intro text. Yeah, maybe it's this. Maybe be right before the font size and the center kicks in, it just puts those in. Yeah, that's probably what's going on. Yeah, so I have not localized this text. Is that, whoa. Oh, no. This is going to be a problem. In English, we need the font size to be bigger for the hyphen. You should probably use pictures for these. Huh. Hey, Osama Samo. How you doing? All right, well, we can see that level is not localized in there. So pseudo localization helped for something already. I guess if we just search for level, we should find it. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, so we just change this to translate level column headers. Yeah. Are you making a game? Yeah, I'm making Scala Seller. Okay, so that'll look good, I guess. Anything else in here? I don't know. There's probably some tooltip on a button somewhere that I have not looked at yet. Can we click these things? Yep, that's fine. Doesn't allow you to do that. This is all fine. Huh. Where can we get it? I don't know if you saw the command that I responded with, but there's the Steam link right there. So yeah, it'll be on Steam, it'll be on itch, and that's it, I think. People said, hey, maybe you should put it on the Epic Games Store too. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. Like maybe I will. All right, so if we look through these, we should see square brackets are on all of them. We do. Yep. Yeah, everything's looking pretty good there. Yeah. Yeah, nice. I think this is pretty good. Looks so funny, like the game is glitching. Yeah, it does. And yet, we've done a lot of strings. This is actually pretty good. So if we didn't see those brackets anywhere or somewhere, it would mean that we'd mess this up. Okay, that's a mess. But I'm going to assume that's working correctly. And I just shouldn't have used square brackets for this stuff. My goodness. Yeah, so level we know is broken. I fixed that already. But the rest of these look like they're fine. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so far, so good. I don't see any problems. Other than level. That might need to be translated. Roll, heal. I don't know where that comes from. Roll, colon. Yes, but I already have this written down. Phone mode. Osama, please try to be careful about segmenting messages. How do you get games in stores? Do you have to email them or something? So you can look at like how to get a game on Steam. There's a whole like set of things you have to do. But yeah, in general, you pay some money and you get into the store that you're trying to get into. At least for Steam. Hey, Krasner. Thank you for being here. Thank you for blessing each of my weeks. I don't think many people use it voluntarily. I think they sometimes use it, but probably with a deal of like, hey, you put it in front of enough people and wait, what is it? Like the free games thing, or there's some other promotion program they had. I don't think Epic charges you a cut for the first $1 million that you make, which most people aren't going to make. So it's kind of nice that you just get 100% of the revenue, but you're getting 100% of the revenue for an audience that probably overlaps with Steam quite a lot, and it's probably just going to go to Steam anyway. When is it releasing? Oh, that's also on the Steam page. It should hopefully be March. Yeah. Yeah, but please do check the Steam page. Like 6 of your questions have been answered by the Steam page. So just go take a look at that. Most people use Epic for free game promos or because they buy off devs to make timed Epic exclusives. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Epic as much as a platform. I don't use it as much. I get the free games all the time, but I hardly even play those. Yeah. Okay, so wait, we were looking through this and we got through some of that. Is there anything else in here that I need to look at? We looked at that stuff. We looked at all of those. Quests. Quests looking fine. What about this? Fine. Is there any other text in here? That's done. That's fine. That's fine. Probably all the NPCs have been... Oh, wait, no. They might not all have been localized. In fact, I don't think any of this has been. spend the... Yeah, this hasn't been. Why does it look like it's got... It doesn't have brackets around it. The brackets are around the like overall title or something. Okay, so it's a little bit hard to use this to find the things that are not set up correctly. But in general, I think we're kind of on the right track. I guess story mode is the next thing I test. Oh, yes, Osama, I don't know if you heard me. I said it was March. That's the plan, at least. The reason it says Q1 on Steam is because I wasn't totally sure when it'll launch. I still don't have a date in mind exactly. But yeah, the demo's out now if you want to check it out. Releasing on your birthday, right? I unfortunately do not know your birthday off the top of my head. Just but possibly. All right, so a lot of this is looking good. Oh man, look at that. It's moving off to the side and everything. Oh, thanks for subbing, Osama. Yeah, no need to apologize for asking questions. I think that's fine. I just, the segmenting thing is one of the couple of rules I have in this channel to just try to combine messages. Anyway, this is still okay. This is, yeah, the only real problems we'd have. The only thing I've noticed so far is that level thing, which I already fixed, and then dialogue from NPCs, which I already knew about. But everything else is looking like it's already localized. So maybe we're not as far off as I thought. It feels like we are, though. Because we have so many notes here. But yeah, maybe we're getting to the end of this. God, isn't that crazy? It took weeks. Hey, PKRW. Okay, well, I'm going to turn off pseudo localization for now. I did want to try this out. I'll probably fix up another couple of these, and then I don't think I'm going to spend a lot of time on this today. Loads of respect for people that make games. I got to say, I think making games is quite a roller coaster. Because I was talking about this, I think yesterday or the day before, but you go through, it's like an iterative launch where you'll release like a V0.1 of a game, and then 0.2, and then 0.3. And at any given time, it feels like a major thing, and then it causes a bunch of work for your future self. So it's exciting getting close to a launch, and then you do it, and it's kind of nice when people enjoy it, but then you realize you have so much ahead of you. Well, now we're on version 0.9, so we're very close to launch, and the next thing that I do is going to be pretty much the full game. There's no early access, there's no other major demos planned or anything. Most people don't realize how much work goes into making games, take it for granted. Yeah, and it's kind of sad because I've said this before, but my take is that gamers are super entitled in general, or at least the vocal gamers on the internet are generally somewhat entitled. And I've seen this in a lot of different communities. I think it's especially bad for like Blizzard games, for example. Every Blizzard game I've played, I've looked at the community and it's just a bunch of nonsense. It's just a bunch of like, I want this and this and this, and why does this cost money? And I don't know, it's like people play their games, they generally like them. But then even when it comes to games on Steam or indie games, or it's like there's always a demand or an expectation without understanding what it takes to do that. And in general, what I'd say this problem is just kind of a lack of empathy. And I really, really like that story, The Egg. This is by, what, Andy something? Andy Wire. Yeah, this. I really like this. If anyone hasn't seen this or heard of this, it's a short story. There's a YouTube video by Kurtz Kasat that covers it. I think that's what I think about all the time when I think about the complaints that I see online. Yeah. People say 0 out of 10. I didn't like how that car looks. Yeah, you know what happened recently? There was a game that launched on Steam that had 100% positive reviews and probably like more than 500 reviews. And then one person said, game is amazing, but I just like wanted to buck the trend or something like that. And they left a negative review. And this was kind of crushing for the developers. They're like, man, we're at 100% positive reviews. This person admitted that they liked the game and then left a negative review. And it's like, why do people have to be like that? Why can't they just let people enjoy things? That really rubbed me the wrong way. And it's not even my game. And I haven't played the game and I hadn't heard of the game. I just, for all we know, it's a marketing. I mean, this is now the cynical part of me saying maybe it's the developers leaving their own negative review so that they can then complain about it and get press, but they probably didn't do that. It's funny that it turned out to be so popular. Well, yeah, especially after the whole "you think you do, but you don't" by the Blizz exec. Said like people just don't want this. And I agree that probably some people don't and thought it would sound good. And some people probably went back and played it for a bit and then realized, wow, this is like gaming's changed a lot in those years. But yeah, people are still playing after all this time. Did that take the pressure off? Rocket Birds? Yeah, I haven't heard of that. I don't know if... Oh, I think that's the one that people were saying had a nearly perfect rating. Did this? No, never mind. I think it was another chicken related game, but this one's at 81%. But yeah, I haven't played this. It's all downhill after Pong. People want to be funny in reviews and get those reactions for being funny. Yeah, it's just sad because the incentives are wrong. It's like, hey, I get attention in public, which I crave, but at the cost of a dev being hurt. Emotionally hurt, not physically hurt. I can leave some stupid and negative review for you. You can share. Wow, thanks, Sick. Thanks for always being a negative force in my life. Why do you use Google Docs for to-dos? It's just kind of ease. I have a why Google Docs command. Sometimes I end up sharing these, sometimes I don't. Yeah. I do also use Obsidian. In fact, I use Obsidian for my personal to-do list. I just don't tend to use it for my work to-do list. And I've always thought, should I change? Should I not? Do I want to? I don't know. Yeah. It definitely applies sometimes. Oh, yeah, I agree. And also, I think people do underestimate how much game design has changed in the last 10 years, let alone in 20 years. Now, granted, that statement was made when it had been about, I think, like 13 years since the original launch. So it kind of just goes to this statement of like how much has changed in 10 years. And yeah, any 10-year period of gaming looks pretty different from the last 10 years. There were always advancements. And maybe we'll get to a point where it kind of stabilizes and you're just like, oh, modern games in 2035 look pretty much the same as in 2042. But we're not there yet. I think they definitely look different from how they used to be. Localize the level column. I found this via pseudo localization. All right, cool. Commit that. Hey, Trackley. Thank you. One of my favorite types of games? Types of games, interesting. I think I like roguelike games. And I think I generally like easy to learn games. They can be complex, but I don't want to spend a long time learning them. And yeah. But yeah, just thinking of some general games that I've liked in the last, I don't know how many years, like Risk of Rain 2 was really good. I really like Terraria. I really like Stardew Valley. I've been playing a lot of the finals. I do like WoW. Smash Bros series and everything too. Like, yeah, there's quite a lot of different genres that are in there. They probably steer more toward 2D games than 3D games. I don't tend to like story games at all, no. I tend to skip the story in every game I play. I caved and nabbed a Switch 2. You know, I have not been super happy with my Switch 2 so far. It came with Mario Kart, which I didn't want, but that was the only way I could obtain a Switch, so I got one. So it came with Mario Kart. I played that like a few times. I bought DK Bonanza. I don't know how far I am in the game, but I just never continue to play it at some point. Maybe I'm halfway through, maybe I'm 60%, something like that. And then I bought Kirby Air Riders, and I just haven't really played it yet, so I need to give it more of a shot. Do you mean more D4 rather than PoE? Or how do complex games become easy to learn? Yeah, Diablo 4 is definitely better than PoE in that regard because there isn't the like crazy amount of building and they hide the mechanics a little bit more up front. But I guess what I mean is like Factorio was not a good game for me due to the learning curve. And like Nuclear Throne is a good game for me due to the, well, I mean, learning curve. Again, there's just less to learn in the game. Yeah, if they throw a bunch of mechanics at me early on, I'm just like, I don't want to learn this. I just don't want to do it. You played Cuphead? No, I haven't played Cuphead. I've heard really good things. I got it for Kirby pretty much. It's been a good time. Kirby Air Riders? Yeah. Only game I want to get is Kirby, but for one game, it's not worth it. Yeah, it's generally not worth it for me either for one game, unless that one game had been Smash Bros. In the past, because then I put so many hours into it. It was crazy. But there's going to be a new mainline Zelda at some point. My guess is it's going to be like 5 years from now. And I will probably pre-order that and love it, whatever it is. Like, that's what I'm counting on. And then, yeah, here and there will be some games that, I don't know, maybe what I'll do is I'll just start buying games on sale like 2 years after the fact. I kind of want to try Metroid Prime 4, but I don't think I would enjoy it for whatever cost, $70 worth of purchase. But for like 40, yeah, maybe I'll buy it. Have you ever had a PS3 or Wii U? I never had a PS3, but I had a Wii U. And I don't feel like I got a lot of value out of the Wii U, except for Smash 4. I remember playing that, the Wind Waker remake. What else? There was that what had Nintendo Land on it? Nintendo Land was pretty fun. I like that a lot. I also liked the asymmetrical multiplayer setup. I thought that was pretty cool. But unfortunately, it was like, this coincided with a time in my life where I wasn't just constantly a walk away from people. Back in college, you could just walk to like all of your friends. So getting together to play video games is a lot easier. All right, do I want to change this Git description now? Wait, where is this? Get tooltip description. All right, so what is this doing? Bonus explanation text and then value. And we append a whole lot of these things. Yeah, this is a mess. I think this is going to be pretty hard to do. I'm going to write hard here. We're going to just bump this to the bottom for now. Start with townperks.ts. What is this about? What have I not translated here? Oh, this? This doesn't look that hard. Yeah. Granted header. This is going to be in tooltips. And then we need to do this. Okay, then we have a note at the bottom. You can find info about these in the perks tab. Yeah. Note. What am I doing here? That. Okay, that should be exactly what we have there too. Must go Busto. Thanks for the resub. Happy 7 months. And happy Thanksgiving. And I'm grabbing the new Fire Emblem. I heard good things about, what was it, 3 Houses, I think. But I haven't played a Fire Emblem game in a while. I'm not sure I would enjoy it. Wind Waker HD to be released on the Switch. Oh, yeah, because if you didn't have a Wii U, then there was no way to play Wind Waker now. Yeah. Yeah, I think Wind Waker held up pretty well. No, thank you. As a partner, do you get that Twitch front page thing again? I know you did it years ago. So I did it years ago, and then I did it more recently. I think it was like April of this year. And then there's a cooldown period, and then I applied 4 times after that, and I got rejected 4 times. So now I don't want to apply again for January would be the next month, I think. I don't want to apply for January because then I'll be in the cooldown period for the launch of the game. So I'm going to apply again for the launch, which hopefully is going to be March. And hopefully I get it for that because then I can do my own marketing for a little bit. That would be really nice. Hey, Pokenon. I hated 3 houses. Huh. Is the next one going to be called 4 houses? Hogwarts Legacy? How many games have you developed and how long have you been developing the game for? So this particular game I've developed since April of 2024. So a little over a year and a half. And the last game I made before this was Botland, which is not currently playable. And then before that, I've made some other little games here and there. I made some stream games that people play, like Jump Royale and Animal Royale. And then some that never saw the light of day. So yeah, a lot of different little things, but nothing that's really like fun and playable out there right now. Condominium. 3 townhouses. Windmaker's art style made it age very well. Yeah, but even, sorry, I didn't just mean the art. Even the gameplay I think wasn't too bad. Like, I don't think I could play Ocarina of Time again, but I think I could play Wind Waker again. This is your biggest project? No. Botland was definitely my biggest project. Botland was crazy. I do not want to tackle a project that big again for a very long time. Okay, this looks like it's done. Yeah, so this actually wasn't too bad. Start with town perks. We can actually we can look at this. Yeah, let's go try this out. Do you think UE5 is the best thing to learn nowadays? I think it depends on what you want to do. If you want to make like a realistic looking 3D game, then yes, it's probably the best. I don't think there's much contest there. But if you just want to make a game, it's not necessarily the best thing to learn. I think a game engine is a good thing to learn. But yeah, depends on what kind of look and feel you're going for with how much work you want to put into it. Because technically, and I mean, no one would do this, but you could make all of Unreal Engine yourself, which would cost you a ludicrous amount of time and money. So you could get a look and feel even in your own engine like that. But yeah, most people aren't going to put in that kind of work. All right, so we should just see a tooltip showing up over here that says the same things. Granted these random perks, cool. You can find out about these in the perks tab. We can click that and yep. Nice. All right, cool. All right, so that one's done. Let's look at the next one, challenge mode configuration. What is missing in here? A medal? That's it? And then time string, where's that come from? Oh, that's this. Target time. Okay, where's target time come from? Target time is an integer. Oh, number of minutes. Oh, so we probably need format minutes for this. Well, we know it's the number of minutes. Yeah, I guess we can just make this a translated string. Yeah, Botland is not playable right now. Exactly, yeah. It probably will be again maybe next year because we're thinking of open sourcing it, but yeah, got to put some time into that. Too much time spent in between actual battles. DLC 4 was perfect though. Oh, so you played a lot of it. Just looking back, the pacing was off. Do you think UE5's bad reputation of unoptimized games is an actual issue with the engine or just devs taking shortcuts? I imagine it's just devs taking shortcuts, especially given that UE5 doesn't require you to code to use it. A lot of people use blueprints. So they're probably not aware of what's going on under the hood, even if they have some technical knowledge. Because there are a lot of games made with Unreal Engine 5 that are just fantastic. I think the finals is Unreal. I thought Final Fantasy VII Remake was in Unreal, but maybe not. Okay, so I just want to translate this. This is inside of for a class that does not have translate stuff yet. Godot.translation server. Cool. And then we translate this metal ID. So I'll just say to do there. And then target time. No overload. Yeah, right. I need the format call here. Okay. So now what do we write for to do on this? This is tooltips. I think it's in a tooltip. And I think that's all we need to do. And this can be bbcode functions.format number to look a little bit nicer than this. Well, no, it is technically bolding it. I shouldn't rely on whatever we do for formatting numbers. All right, cool. I think we're good there. So I guess we just continue a game and see. So I want to see what happens when this goes beyond 20 minutes. Unfortunately, that means we need to wait like 40 seconds because even at 8x speed, it only ticks up so fast. So I'm just waiting for this thing to hit 20 minutes. Yeah. Well, we don't have to wait too terribly long. I could have just modified my save file. But now we're watching the time tick up. And all that should happen when it hits 20 minutes, right now gold metal is bolded in that tooltip. It should bold silver metal after that. I just want to make sure I didn't break something. Good, yeah. Okay, so that's done. Metal ID.toString. This needs some sort of like display data for this. We should never be using metal.toString. How many places does it show up? Once. Metal name. Yeah, I should just manifest 3 different names here. Yeah, I'll make like all metal data. It just has names in it. No real reason to do that, is there? No, not really. All right, let's just type it in here then. So what are they? Bronze, silver, gold? Yeah, pretty simple. So private, static, read-only, dictionary, metal ID, func string, metal names. Yeah, so this is going to be bronze, silver, gold. Silver, gold, and none. Or no metal, maybe? Yeah, no metal. But we do 2 lower there. Hey, Abhi's. Welcome in on YouTube. Okay, so type of namespace not found. Let's get that. Let's get that. Let's go get this. So metal earned text. We need to get the metal name. Metal names. Cool. And then use that. This should be 2 lower, though. So let me write the word metal afterward. Oh, God. Is this just for when you earn it? Yeah, maybe we should write it like this. I don't think this is the only place where we do this, though. Yeah, I don't think this is the only place where we do this. I didn't mean to do that. Field should not follow a method. I gotta be missing something here. Maybe we just have id.toString somewhere. Run, metrics, ability ID. It doesn't seem like it. Huh. I wonder, huh. Yeah. I want to go take a look at this. This is C#. Any Salametro. And hey, Abhijit. How are you? Hope you're fine. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving here in the US. Most people who celebrate Thanksgiving, I don't think do so before lunchtime usually, although it is a federal holiday. All right, so here it says gold medal in parentheses. Is there a way to see this outside of that? No, I don't think so. Okay, so we start a new game, and what happens at the upper left here? Gold medal, silver medal, bronze medal. Target time. Target time. Target time breakdown. That's this. Medal ID. Yeah, this can't work. This needs to be the medal name now. We don't have an easy way of getting that, do we? I didn't think about this. Just automatically calling toString whenever you interpolate a medal ID. Man. All right, where is this? Enumeration extensions, medal name. Yeah, this is just on the medal ID. Perfect. Okay, so we just got to use that. Get name. Name, what do I call this? Medal name. Let me delete that. This is not at all going to be clear what this is for, so I should probably write this down. 18N. This shows a medal name and a time, e.g. gold medal 10M. And the time it takes to earn that medal. Yeah. Sweet potatoes and marshmallow for Thanksgiving. I'm not sure how to handle that. Yeah, it's not great. Well, I'm just... You swallow those words with marshmallow on top. It is good. You don't know what you're talking about. This man's crazy. Yeah, I like it a lot. I like cranberry sauce that comes in a can. Although I haven't had this in forever. This stuff. You open the can and dump it out and it's like perfectly cylindrical. Yeah, look at this. Oh man. Okay, so I guess technically anywhere we have medal ID, I need to go look through. There are only 31 results, so this shouldn't take too long. Yeah, that's all fine. Oh, that deletes the syntax highlighting. How are we looking here? Sorted target time, return medal ID, get medal item. That's fine. Base target time. Cool, cool, cool. We just changed that. Looks good. Looks good. That's good too. Cool, yeah, everything's fine here. Nice. Need to change this. Baked beans in tomato sauce in a can? I don't even think I've ever had baked beans with tomato sauce. Oh, I see what this is. Okay, this is not what I assumed. I might have had this. I go crazy on a green bean casserole, the crispy bits though. I go crazy for calzones. All right, so this is just localize more of the game. Yeah, localize more of the game. Let's run the generation thing over here again. Update translation files, commit. And then can commit this, update translation, submodule. And then sync. Cool. Okay, so I think we've done a pretty decent job here. This is not needed anymore. What's this? This is fine. Yeah, these can be deleted. I'll put this into the localization list. And this is now done. Improved holy link. Yeah, and counterattack. Yeah, they're both done. Anything else? Yeah, some of this stuff, semi-straightforward. Any other things? I guess I can run .NET format. This is already done. This is something we do later. This is done. Although we need to make sure everything was moved there. I'll save that on the list for now. Yeah. Man. Is this stuff all done? Oh, man. They might not be. Yeah, they're not. There's still one more. Okay. So many stuff on the to-do list. Yeah. Yeah, there is a lot. It definitely is a lot. Also, this is one to-do list. This is for the localization stuff that we have. This is kind of a backlog of like everything I didn't put in GitHub. And then there's all the stuff that I did put on GitHub. We have 263 issues there. This is why, even though the game kind of looks complete, we still have 4 months before we're going to launch. Not really 4 now. I guess it's a little less than 4. But why it's still going to take months to get everything else done. And there's still some features like controller support and achievements that we have to add in. But yeah, things are going pretty smoothly. So I think that's going to be it for today's stream. Let's fill this out. Worked on localization. Mostly took it easy. Only streamed in the morning. Yeah, I know it's only been 2 hours. My general policy on Tuesdays and Thursdays is just like stream to get started. It's Thanksgiving. I might work a little bit less than normal today. But I think tomorrow will be a normal day of streaming. I'm not totally sure what we're going to do if I get done with most of the localization stuff. I also don't think I want to work on this anymore on stream. So I think for Friday, let's move this down here, this over here, and say, try working on something that isn't localization. Maybe look through high priority issues or consider controller support. Yeah, sure thing, Leftus. I want to try solo because I have not played solo yet. I played a couple games with my wife and I played a couple games with some friends, and everyone kind of agreed it was too chaotic. I think they would have had more fun if they'd played solo and they could see the whole screen at once. Do you watch Party the Game Awards? No, I don't ever watch the Game Awards, I think. Are they interesting? I don't know what the appeal is. Yeah. There's a roguelike story mode? I didn't even know that. Wow, I should take a look at that. How do you feel about a function like this for the places where we store a lambda to get the translated string? So you don't have to type the... I'm just going to write this down to look at in the afternoon because I'm not processing this right now. So I don't know the answer to this yet. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm going to go raid somebody. And then I should be back tomorrow for a regular stream day. Oh, way fewer people online today. All right, let's raid Daniel Hart. I have not raided him in a long time. I don't know if he's streaming in English either. Oh, no, hang on. I think his audience is mostly Portuguese right now. All right, never mind. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't want to disrupt someone by having English raid into a Brazilian stream. So let's raid... All right, you know what? Let's not raid. I'm not going to go find someone new. So yeah, thanks for watching. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.